Guess who's back? Back again. Michael's back to kill again.
Okay, Michael, thanks for that embarrassing introduction. So now we're on to Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This time directed by Dwight H Little, Halloween 4 takes place 10 years after the first two, where Michael Myers has been in a coma all this time, and he awakens right the night before Halloween to start his killing once again. After working on the first three films, John Carpenter and Deborah Hill decided to exit the franchise. The main reason why is they didn't want to redo Michael Myers again. They were done with that storyline. They wanted the anthology storyline that they planned after Halloween 3. But since Halloween 3 was a failure at the time, Mustafa Akkad, the producer, wanted to bring back Michael Myers for the fans, and John Carpenter and Deborah Hill decided to move on. And so I say some of the charm that they brought to the franchise went with them. With all that said, Halloween 4 is still a pretty decent entry in the franchise, although it is flawed. Donald Pleasence comes back yet again to play Dr. Sam Loomis after surviving the explosion in the end of Halloween 2. Even though it's kind of bullshit, but he did get the scars in the face and in his hand, but you would think he should be dead after that explosion. I mean, he's the one that lit, the lighter. But, you know how it is, you gotta suspend your disbelief. Like I said in my previous reviews, Dr. Sam Loomis is like Captain Ahab, and Michael Myers is like Moby Dick. It's very clear in this film with the scene where Dr. Loomis is getting a ride from the priest, and he asks Loomis, "You're hunting something, aren't you?" And Loomis says yes. And I really like that scene. There's a nice little moment where he Loomis smiles, and you never actually see that. Seeing that kind of got me a bit sad because he is a tragic character in a way because his pretty much most of his life, especially his after he met Michael Myers, it's all been about stopping Michael Myers, and he actually doesn't get to be a happy guy. And little moments like that where he gets a smile, it's actually very interesting. But like that priest told him, you can't kill damnation. This time in the lead is not Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. It's actually Dannielle Harris as Laurie Strode's daughter, Jamie. Now so not. But Jamie is having nightmares about her uncle Michael Myers coming to kill her, and she's freaked out, and Halloween is coming, and she's not looking forward to it at all. So apparently Laurie Strode and whoever was the father of Jamie died in a car accident years before, and that's why Jamie has been adopted by this new family. You also have Ellie Cornell playing Rachel, who's pretty much Jamie's big sister, and she has plans to go out with her boyfriend Brady, but she has to babysit Jamie, and later that night they decide to go trick or treating, and things go wrong. I will say Dwight H Little does a good job directing. The pacing is good, and I like the atmosphere he brings, especially to the opening scene where there's no music. You just feel the mood that he sets up throughout the rest of the film of the Halloween season. Most of the main actors did a good job for the most part, and they played the characters pretty good. This movie also has a pretty big body count, and the kills are well done for the most part, especially the kills with a thumb. Yeah, I really like the makeup effect when the doctor gets killed, or the paramedic gets killed. It was doctor. In the beginning of the film, when Michael wakes up, or when Brady's death, when he gets the thumb in the cheek and gets his head crushed, or a character that's driving a truck gets his whole pretty much this his neck broken. Pretty good makeup effects, I will say. Now I'm gonna go into the flaws of the movie, and there are plenty of flaws. The first and biggest flaw is Michael Myers. I don't like the way he's played in this film. He's played by George P. Wilbur, which I'm sure he's a nice guy, I know, but I don't like the way he plays him. he just comes off as just a guy dressed up as Michael Myers rather than Michael Myers the killer. I don't like his posture. I don't know if it's just him or the way Dwight H Little directed him. Just nothing about him is intimidating in this film, except for the early scenes where you don't really see him with the mask, and I'll get to the mask. But when throughout most of the film where he's killing people, it just comes off as a big goofy by the way he walks. It's just not right to me. And speaking of the mask, it just plain sucks in this movie. It's way, way too white, bright white, and it doesn't look like the Michael Myers mask. It looks more like a clown in this film.
I mean, for crying out loud, this mask looks better than the one in the film.
Another big problem I have with the film is the hillbilly characters. They seem so out of place with this film. You should just cut them out of the entire film. I mean, they're trying to hunt Michael Myers when they hear the news that he might be out there killing people. I understand that, but like I said, they seem out of place and don't do much in the film. They accidentally get a guy named Ted Hollister killed. Was he related to Ben Tramer? I mean, he got Ben Tramer there. The hillbillies just, they serve their purpose in the film. It's just a distraction. And it's supposed to be a suburban town. Why are there hillbillies there? It just makes no sense to me. And oh god, now I know where Rob Zombie got his inspiration for his Halloween films. Oh, so this is more nitpicky, but there's a scene where Jamie gets picked on by the other kids at school. They're saying, "Oh, Jamie's uncle is the boogeyman, and that's why you don't go trick or treating, and you're an orphan, and all this shit." And then later in the film, she goes trick or treating with a clown costume, and she bumps into the same kids who bullied her earlier in the film, and they say, "Oh, I like your costume. Let's be friends." What? And she goes with them, and I'm thinking, why would you go and be friends with the kids who were mean to you? And that very same day, I would say, fuck them kids. Find some actual good friends. This is another nitpick, but there's a scene where Rachel picks up Jamie from school after she's been bullied, and the character that's driving them to the store where Brady works at is a girl named Lindsay. Now that's supposed to be the same Lindsay from the original film. And what's weird is that she doesn't appear at all after that scene. So what the hell was the point of that? To even have her character in the film? Other than just freaking fan service, why not use her character and expand upon that? That bothered me. And I know that's just a nitpick, but what the fuck? This next flaw is not nitpicking. It's about the climax of the film. I was pretty disappointed with the climax. There's not much to it. Michael Myers gets shot, and it's weird because he kills the damn hillbillies and throws them off the truck, and I'm thinking, how the hell did he get in that? How is he hiding? Did they teleport? I mean, nobody noticed him. And it's weird because they passed a few cops right before he shows up again and back of the truck. So they didn't see him hiding? I mean, that didn't make sense to me. And the final showdown stuff is not much to it. That was pretty disappointing and pretty weak in my opinion. The ending of the film, the final scene, is both good and bad. And I'll explain why. It's good because it's an interesting way to end the film, and it's pretty ballsy, but at the same time, because of the next film, I know this is not this film's fault, but in the next film, it doesn't matter. It added to nothing. And I'll get to that in Halloween 5, in my Halloween 5 review, but that kind of sucks. The final thing that bothered me about this film was the music, the score. Other than the original score that they played throughout a lot of the movie, the score they actually have for the new film, the new score, is pretty forgettable. I have no idea what it was. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why they played the original theme song throughout a lot of the scenes in the movie, because in my opinion, they didn't have a good score. John Carpenter left, and they kind of were stuck, in my opinion, and didn't do a good job in that department. But despite all those flaws, I know it's a lot, more than I think you guys expected me to say. I still think this is a decent film, and it was a good entry to the series. Hope you guys enjoyed my Halloween 4 review. Stay tuned for my Halloween 5 review. But anyway, did you guys like Halloween 4? Did you hate it? Comment. Feel free to say whatever you want about the film. Well, thanks for watching. You guys have a happy Halloween. And adios. Oh, and fuck off, Wade.